Before Hollywood knew his name, before the Academy Awards, before becoming one of the most influential filmmakers in American history, there was a young boy growing up in Brooklyn with a camera, a dream, and a voice the world had never heard before. He wasn't chasing fame. He wasn't chasing fortune. He wanted to tell stories that made people uncomfortable. Stories that challenged society. Stories that couldn't be ignored. That young boy was Spike Lee. Born as Shelton Jackson Lee on March 20th, 1957 in Atlanta, Georgia, Spike's life changed when his family moved to Brooklyn, New York. That city would shape not only his childhood, but also every film he would create. His father, Bill Lee, was a gifted jazz musician whose music filled their home with creativity and passion. His mother, Jacqueline Lee, was a teacher who believed education could change lives. Together, they raised their children in an environment where art, culture, and knowledge were valued every single day. Without realizing it, Spike was growing up in the perfect classroom. Brooklyn wasn't glamorous. It was real. Its streets were filled with different cultures, different voices, and different struggles. Spike watched everything around him, every conversation, every neighborhood, every celebration, every injustice. Those memories would later become the heartbeat of his films. Unlike many children who dreamed of becoming athletes or musicians, Spike found himself fascinated by storytelling. He loved photography, cinema, and the power of visual expression. He wasn't interested in creating fantasy. He wanted to capture reality. After graduating from high school, Spike attended Morehouse College in Atlanta, where he studied mass communication. It was there that filmmaking stopped being just an interest and became his life's purpose. Determined to master his craft, he later enrolled at New York University's Tisch School of the Arts, earning a Master of Fine Arts in film production. While many of his classmates dreamed about directing blockbuster movies, Spike dreamed about something much bigger. He wanted to give a voice to people Hollywood had ignored for decades. But dreams alone don't open doors. His journey was filled with rejection. Studios weren't interested in financing films from a young black director with bold ideas. Investors questioned his vision. Hollywood wanted safe stories. Spike refused. Instead of changing himself to fit the industry, he decided to change the industry. With limited resources and an independent spirit, he directed his first feature film, She's Gotta Have It, in 1986. Made on a modest budget, the film surprised everyone. It became both a critical and commercial success, proving that powerful storytelling didn't require massive budgets. Suddenly, Hollywood was paying attention. But Spike Lee wasn't interested in becoming just another successful director. He wanted every film to leave an impact, and that's exactly what happened. Just 3 years later, he released Do the Right Thing. The film sparked conversations across America about race, justice, and inequality. Some called it controversial, others called it a masterpiece. But everyone was talking about Spike Lee. Overnight, he became more than a filmmaker. He became a cultural voice, a storyteller who wasn't afraid to challenge audiences, a director who believed that movies could do more than entertain. They could inspire change. And while his career was reaching incredible heights, the greatest chapters of his life were still waiting to be written, because beyond the cameras, beyond the red carpets, and beyond the awards, Spike Lee was quietly building something even more meaningful. A family, a lasting legacy, and a life deeply connected to the city he has always called home. That story begins next. The little boy who once walked the streets of Brooklyn with a camera had become one of the most respected filmmakers in the world. But for Spike Lee, success was never measured by money alone. Movies like Malcolm X, He Got Game, Inside Man, 25th Hour, Black AK Klansman, and Da 5 Bloods proved that he wasn't simply making entertainment. He was documenting history. Every film carried a message. Every scene challenged audiences to think. And every project strengthened his reputation as one of the boldest voices in modern cinema. His work earned countless honors, including an Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay for Black AK Klansman, an honorary Oscar recognizing his lifetime contribution to filmmaking, multiple Emmy Awards, BAFTA recognition, and numerous international film honors. But when the cameras stopped rolling, another part of Spike Lee's life became even more important: his family. In 1993, Spike married attorney Tonya Lewis Lee. Unlike many Hollywood couples, they built a relationship away from constant media attention. Together they raised 2 children, Satchel Lee and Jackson Lee. Despite traveling the world and directing major productions, he has always found comfort returning home to New York. That city has never stopped inspiring him. Today, Spike continues living in Manhattan while maintaining deep roots in Brooklyn. New York isn't just where he lives, it's part of who he is. Its streets, neighborhoods, culture, and people continue influencing his work after more than 4 decades. Financially, Spike Lee has built an impressive career by 2026. His estimated net worth is around $60–70 million, earned through directing, producing, writing, acting, teaching, speaking engagements, production deals, and decades of successful filmmaking. His lifestyle reflects success without excessive extravagance. He owns valuable New York real estate. He enjoys classic art, basketball memorabilia, designer fashion, and a collection of iconic eyeglasses and sneakers that have become part of his signature image. Unlike many celebrities known for showing off luxury cars and private jets, Spike has always invested more in creativity than in displaying wealth. His greatest investment has been storytelling. Of course, a career built on speaking uncomfortable truths was never free from controversy. Many of Spike Lee's films sparked intense public debate. Some critics believed his work was too political. Others argued his films challenged audiences in ways Hollywood rarely dared to attempt. Spike never apologized for telling the stories he believed needed to be told. His loyalty became legendary. When the Knicks finally celebrated their long-awaited championship, it wasn't just another sports victory for Spike. For a lifelong fan who had stood beside the team through countless disappointments, seeing that historic triumph brought pure joy. It reminded everyone that behind the legendary filmmaker was simply a devoted New Yorker celebrating the team he had loved for decades. Even today, Spike Lee shows no signs of slowing down. He continues producing films, mentoring young filmmakers. He proved that authenticity can become your greatest strength. Think back to where this story began. A young boy from Brooklyn with a camera. He could have followed the crowd. Instead, he created his own path. He turned difficult conversations into timeless cinema. And he remained loyal to the city that made him who he is. Some people make movies. Spike Lee made history. His legacy isn't measured by awards or money or fame. It's measured by the millions of people who saw the world differently because of the stories he chose to tell. And perhaps that's the greatest success any filmmaker could ever hope for.